Hello and welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. What did you do on your spring break when you were in college? I worked at several spring breaks at MTV when I should have been in college because I started MTV like a couple days after my 20th birthday. And we went to Panama City Beach, which was amazing. And it still holds like the top podium spot in my memory bank for being so much fun. Panama City Beach was it was incredible. We also went to San Diego, and we did spend one spring break on Lake Havasu visiting houseboats, and we got pelted with rocks, and we had to make haste and make a quick exit because we thought we were going to be blinded by angry, sleeping college spring breakers. It's like, what is wrong with you? So obviously the worst decisions of your life for most people typically happen in college at spring break. So for students who are in Cancun, good luck to you guys, because you are going to catch a lot of microbes from one woman. I think she holds a world record for bedding the most dudes in a day. She had a rotating circle of 20 men at a time, and she had intercourse with 1,000 guys in one day. In 12 hours. That's so disgusting. Her name is Bonnie Blue. I feel no sadness in passing judgment on her because she is a hose bag. She is really, truly just a receptacle. And not for things like compliments and joy and well wishes. She is, as they say in the industry, a dumpster. And for her, that's not a pejorative. That's a compliment. So she's in Cancun having intercourse. My girls hate it when I say intercourse, having sex with as many guys as she can. But be careful, guys, because although she was photographed on a bed with 5, she's pared down the numbers. 5 dudes ready to throw a hot dog down a hallway, or half a dozen wieners, as it were. And she's like, these guys are barely legal, and now I can barely walk. She nasty. But be careful, guys, because if you are photographed with Miss Bonnie Blue, just know that she has promised that when she goes to spring break at Cancun, she is only going to service guys with tiny members. And she says that, men with small penises get such a hard time in life, but they make her feel great. She is such a double wide down there. She doesn't feel anything. So it doesn't matter if you are packing an entire sausage factory downtown or if you are a baby carrot. It all feels the same to her, meaning she feels nothing. But you will feel something if you are going to bed a sure thing like Bonnie Blue, where so many men have been before. They are not the Star Trek Enterprises. They're going where a lot of dudes, a lot of numbers, very high body count, which, just means that she has obviously a higher incidence of contracting a sexually transmitted infection that she will gladly pass on the savings to her young suitors. She does not care. They are young. They are dumb. They are no longer full of courage because they sprayed it all over her face. So now we're living in environments where our collective brain rot is now just making fun of Selena Gomez because I know she someone in her family or in her circle saw that video and they were just like, oh, dear God, she's doing the crying thing again. And now people are going to see what we see all the time, that she's unhinged and she's unstable and she didn't care about the children in the first place. And she's really left herself open for the kind of personal attacks that starlets hate because they just want to be loved. They want to be like Blake Lively and everyone does my hair look fantastic. But also when Lauren Ingram told LeBron James to shut up and dribble, people don't listen to celebrities because celebrities are, by and large, pretty dumb. And Selena Gomez is the poster child for idiocy this week. For that, I don't feel bad for her. Maybe start a charity where you go out and you look for people who've been trafficked and you help them before they get completely ground down into traumatic misery with unlivable lives. Maybe you start a charity that gets to them before their lives get to that point so you can save their life, like I'm saving the world. Or, Selena, just get a podcast. Maybe you already have one. I've never listened to it because now I have no interest in hearing anything that comes out of your lovely mouth. But I do like your cheer blush.
Don't go anywhere. More Kennedy Saves the World right after this.
So every once in a while, though, I would say at least one night a week, I wake up at like 3 a.m. and I'm up for 2 hours. So here's what I have found that works. And I've been asking people all throughout the building what they do when they can't sleep. And there are different types of can't sleep. There's the can't sleep where you have too much adrenaline and you've had too much caffeine late in the day and your body just will not let go of awakeness. That is never my problem. I can usually fall asleep pretty quickly and anywhere. I'm also a plain sleeper, which is almost as much of a blessing as only needing 4 hours of sleep a night. That is one of the few things that I have going for me. And I've never had to take anything on a plane. I'm not a big fan of taking anything to begin with. I've only taken melatonin probably 3 times. It didn't do much. I already have weird dreams, so it didn't give me any weirder dreams. But I did hear today that melatonin is made from pig brains, which makes me dislike it even more. Having said that, there are people who do rely on melatonin to get themselves to sleep. And for some people, they say it keeps them asleep. I know people who take Ambien and other sleep medications like that. I never want to do that. I never want to take Ambien. I never want to take something that forces me to go to sleep because that isn't the problem. It's just when I get up at 3 a.m. And so that was the zone that I was most concerned with when I was talking to people about this. And a couple of people said melatonin. I got some other interesting answers for the middle of the night insomnia. ZQuil. One of my coworkers said that she's been having a really tough time sleeping lately and she's taking more ZQuil than she would like, but she said it's the one thing that works for her. Another coworker said he rarely has to wake up in the middle of the night, but when he does, he went to the old tried and true grandma method, and that was warm milk. He said he heated up milk in the microwave the times that he couldn't sleep, and it got him back to sleep. And he said that will now be his go-to going forward. There was just a Swedish research team that looked at some of the sleep-inducing trends, and they sort of ranked them. They said that the Sleepy Girl mocktail kind of works because there is data that supports magnesium and tart cherry juice putting you to sleep. And then, of course, they mix it with like some prebiotic soda, make sure it doesn't have caffeine in it, and they swear by it. Sleep divorce, which makes me really sad, the thought of it. People sleeping in different beds, sometimes separate rooms. If you are awakened by snoring and movement, then you may have to sleep in your own bed, and that's sad for you. I hope to never get to that point because I do like reaching my leg or hand over in the middle of the night and feeling my domestic partner's warmth. I'm like, hey, you're sexy. Who's a sexy baby? That's really popular at 3 a.m. What else is there that doesn't work? There are these new like copper metal sleep mats that you plug into the wall that supposedly do something to your electromagnetic field for 15 minutes. And those put people to sleep. One of the kind gentlemen who works in the podcast team cubicles said that he has to blast white noise. That does not work for me. So I have tried white noise, green noise, brown noise, and ocean sounds. And I can get through it, but it actually keeps me awake and it does nothing to keep me to sleep. They looked at a digital detox. For some people, that's really important because I think what happens with some people, and I would put like the true crime fans in this category, like if your go-to, like if your Instagram reels are all about true crime and you're not doing actual brain rot, like my brain rot is watching videos about efficient swimming and cute French bulldogs. So I think those really do help to unplug your brain. But if you're going to like stressful things like hardcore news and true crime, that's not going to put you to sleep. So a digital detox would work for you. But if you are looking at stuff that is actually unplugging your brain and signaling to the rest of your body that you're ready to sleep, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world to go through X or Instagram or even TikTok, even though it's super communist, before you go to sleep. I think all of those things work. Worst case scenario, if you have several nights in a row then what I would do is down your melatonin with hot milk on your way to go get the ZzzQuil, and then go buy a sleep number bed and sleep in the opposite room of your partner and count backwards while relaxing all of the tiny muscles in your head, face, and neck. I hope it works for you. Please let me know if it does. I hope that you always have phenomenal sleep, because it does make you very sexy. This has been Kennedy Saves the World. I'm Kennedy.
Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app. Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.